And I wanted to just come on and share some insights and some thoughts with all of you, give you all some updates. The first thing that's really noticeable for me today is how absolutely calm and centered and settled into my body I feel today. I jumped on a call with a client session earlier this morning, and I felt so internally easy and aligned that it was remarkably notable to me. And maybe just because I've done so much work in this field for the last decade, 15 years. Um, but it brought me a lot of joy. I'm like, here I am. I feel so settled. I feel so successful with ease. I feel so focused and embodied joy. And I know that that comes from the number of things that I have taught myself, taken myself through, learned so that I can then, well, everything I've done, everything I do with clients. And some of you are new here. Hi, folks. It's nice to see you. I'm a certified NLP practitioner, hypnotherapy, EFT tapping, subconscious reprogramming, also a certified human design guide. I'm certified in positive psychology. All of these things that I know how to do, I learned to do because I wanted to take myself through this journey to nurture and support myself. And after I've gone through that, there's a puppy here. Hey, Chandler. Hi. You're too little to come up and see everybody, but he's cute. My little, oh, and here's Roy Kent. Come here, Roy Kent. You can say hi because you're a tall boy. Say hi. They fight, they get jealous. Roy Kent is my dog, and Chandler is my daughter's dog, and she's out of town, so keeping the dog for her. And they're very funny together. Anyway, so all of these things that I've done, I have done them for me. And then I've realized that they can help me help others. And I've found a way to weave that into the work I do with clients when I'm speaking, workshops, all of that kind of stuff. So, for those of you who aren't already aware, I'm a transformation coach. And what that means is I help people go from where they are to where they want to be. And I do that by helping you learn to deeply and completely know, like, and trust yourself as you are, like as you're born and destined to be, and then unwire all the bullshit that society's put on you so that you can be successful with ease, lead with embodied joy, and actually feel good in your life. And it doesn't mean we feel good every second because that's ridiculous. Lots of things can be true at once, but we can find ways to nurture ourselves, honor ourselves. And when we start to take radical responsibility for ourselves, for managing the only thing we can control, which is what? Us, our thoughts, our choices, our actions, our behaviors. When we take radical responsibility for ourselves, everything around starts to shift. I don't I don't catch myself getting worked up about that much anymore. I stay pretty chill about things because I know that when I fly off the handle, I'm not making aware aligned decisions. I know what is worthy of my big emotions and I know what is not worthy of my big emotions. And I try to really be honest with myself in that process. And that has helped me tremendously. Of course, I have my own tools and my resources. I use subliminal audios. In fact, I have an entire content library of human design centered subliminal audios that are customized to your chart. I listen to those for my chart. I listen to them several days out of the week. And I love that. That helps. I have NLP practitioners practice on me, and then I do it with clients. That helps. But one of the things that's been the most impactful for me is retreats and retreat travel. It's actually why I decided to host a retreat in Costa Rica, and I can't believe it because I committed and I started selling this retreat almost 2 years ago, and now here we are. We're like 42 days, something like that, out from going to Costa Rica into this incredible, luxurious venue that's dropped right in the middle of the jungle. And if I'm being super honest with you, I am not a jungle girl. Like, I am a champagne in the lavender fields of Provence kind of girl. But somehow my body kept drawing me towards this specific location in Costa Rica. It's called Amaloa. And all of the accommodations are independent and super gorgeous and special and luxurious. The food is all anti-inflammatory. It is plant-based, gluten-free, dairy-free, alcohol-free. So that's like, people are like, I've had a lot of people who are like, no, that's like not vacation. If I can't have yummy foods and wine, I don't want to go. And that's fine, that's a vacation. I do that on vacation. This is a retreat. This is different. And I just kept feeling myself called to it for like 6 months before I finally committed. And now I've been selling it for 2 years. We have like 14 people coming right now. It's an incredible group of folks, and I have about 5 more spots that I'd really like to fill with exactly the right people who are tired of going all the time and never taking a deep breath or a rest. And it's these people, and I don't know if you can identify with this, but I know that I can, who always felt like I should be able to handle it. I should be able to hold more. I should be able to blah, 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 right? And instead, we're pushing so hard. And there's an old philosophical saying that what we resist persists, and that's the truth, right? Like you're pushing and it's resistance because you're not listening and you're not pausing and you're not taking awareness. And this is what I learned for myself, to have that clarity of what would work for me in this moment? What would serve me in this moment? What if I prioritize my own self-care, self-awareness, and self-well-being? And how could that positively impact the people around me at work, at home, my family, my friends, my community? Because the truth is, we can't change anyone but ourselves. But when we take the time to change ourselves, the people around us change. That's just what happens naturally. And I have found a way to create space where people who are always doing the nurturing can be nurtured. Those of us who are always putting ourselves in the back of the list to take care of everybody else's needs, we get to be front and center. We get to rest. We get to be taken care of. I did a really great workshop about a month and a half ago, and I was talking about all of the subconscious reprogramming tools that have used to help me stay grounded and centered while I'm promoting this retreat, and how I'm going to be bringing those into the retreat. So we'll be doing group somatic movement every morning. I'll be guiding folks through group hypnotherapy, group EFT tapping, as well as some conscious self inquiry, things like that. But then we also have Indigenous practitioners for things like cacao ceremony, breath work, sound bath, blue clay. Oh my gosh, there's a medicinal blue clay. It's not a hallucinogen. It's just like a clay you put on, but it's gorgeous, directly from the Amazon. And it's this unbelievable, like almost animalistic experience in the middle of the jungle that you feel so connected to nature and earth. Anyway, we're doing all these things. I'm bringing all of these things in. And I was sharing all of this in the workshop, and one of our participants started to cry. And I asked if they wanted to share sort of what they were experiencing with the room. And they said, I'm just never the one that gets cared for. I'm always doing the caring. And then they decided to sign up for the retreat, which I loved. That was amazing because the caregivers need care. We deserve care. And I think after all these years of practicing and learning and experiencing all these things, I know for a fact I'm very good at prioritizing my well-being and my needs, knowing what to get worked up about, what not to get worked up about, managing my schedule. I feel so blessed that I have my own business, that I manage my own schedule, that I can have slow mornings, which are super important to me. When I'm feeling stressed, overwhelmed, I can take a break, I can stretch, I can meditate, I could go for a walk, I could leave, I could go shopping, I could do anything I want, right? Like I get to control my schedule. I no longer subscribe to feeling like I need to be busy all day, every day to be worthy. I run my life and my business. I have a to-do list of things that need to get done and when and whatever my projects are. And I give dedicated time to that and serving my clients and whatever I need to do. And beyond that, I allow myself space to go and do whatever it is that I fucking want to do. And I help other people learn to do that, whether you have the privilege of managing your schedule or not. If you work for another company, how can we nurture you and care for you in that process? But even then, I am still absolutely the first person that will upend whatever I have going on to take care of, especially one of my kids who needs it, because that's what we do, right? Like of course, that's what we do. Lots of things can be true at once. And I'm grateful for that ability. and that flexibility. But I also don't usually get a big multi-day stretch where I can just rest and regenerate and be inquisitive with myself and ask myself thoughtful, intentional questions and then be there to hear the answers. What I found most remarkable about being at Emaloa in Costa Rica was my connection to the earth and the universe. It truly felt like there was a golden cord coming up from the core of the earth through my body and connecting me to the cosmos. I actually vibrated with the energy of the universe. And I could, even though, inside the jungle, there's a lot of noise, I could hear myself so clearly for what is probably the first time in my life. And what I discovered after coming back from my first trip to Emaloa is that my connection to the divine, my connection to my own intuition, my own inner voice was so much stronger. And I have been able to fine tune sort of getting those downloads. For me, I think they're different for everyone. They tend to really come in that space in between sleep and wake, that subliminal space where you're like, not quite awake, not quite asleep. I get very clear messages now that tell me this is the thing you need to be doing. And actually, one of those was you need to be going live and talking about this experience. So that's why one of the reasons I'm doing that today, because I've learned to really listen to that. But I want you to know that if you're struggling with how to balance it all, how to make it all work, especially when the world is as messy as it is right now, um, how can you be joyful when there's so much gross stuff happening? How can we be productive when we feel overwhelmed all the time? The list just goes on and on and on. And there is a balance and there are ways. And what I love about the subconscious reprogramming is that it gets to be easier than we think it is. A lot of this self development, self work is grueling because it really requires you to be super honest with yourself, ask yourself really hard questions, and then be there for the answers. Sometimes, though, it doesn't have to be so hard. And that's what I love about subconscious reprogramming. Hypnotherapy, subliminal audios, EFT tapping. Like, I have a whole bunch of techniques that we can do that will shift negative thoughts, emotions, patterns, behaviors, beliefs, like really quickly. And it works. And I do those with clients remotely all the time, but we're going to play with that as well in Costa Rica. And I just love being able to create shift instantly that doesn't feel like it's turning you inside out. I don't know. I really love the idea of fine tuning how we can hear ourselves, what our bodies feel like when it's trying to give us information, what the message is, and just taking time, just rest for the sake of rest, taking time to take a break and step out of the chaos. It's great if you take an hour here or there to do something nice for yourself. You take a little rest, even if you're overnight, you're taking a little weekend getaway. All those things are amazing. We should do those, and we should build in care practices, self care practices on the regular. But how you can't do deep regenerative support in an hour at a time, and that's what we're doing in Costa Rica. We are taking 6 days to just exist and be cared for and be held and be with ourselves. Doesn't that sound amazing? Like I'm so excited. And you can be at the edge of burnout. I hope you're not. You don't, it can be anywhere on your journey. Like, you are worthy of rest. You were born worthy of rest. You are worthy of taking the time to step out and away and care for yourself and nurture yourself. And now here we are, 6 weeks out from this incredible adventure with only a few spots left. And if anybody is thinking, I want to know more about that, send me a message or go to the link in my bio and check it out. We have rooms that start as little as $29.50 inclusive, which is incredible. That's a shared room with a couple of other people. But you could also get private room if you're like, I want 6 days all to myself. Hell yeah, I love that. Those aren't that expensive either. $5,500, it's not that bad. Everything's included. It's going to be extraordinarily exceptional. And I feel so peaceful with all of it. I feel peaceful with being 51, being in my body, and I'm not sure that even a year ago I would have really said that, so that feels exciting to, like, have that clarity and have that awareness and, like, I feel really good being me right now, and I'm excited to share that energy and that space with other people. So if any of you are interested, let me know. Um, and I would love to know what's bringing you joy right now. What are you focusing on that's helping make your life easier and better and the lives of the people around you easier and better? Where are you bringing joy in when everything feels so dark and heavy all the time? Where are you bringing in light? How are you making yourself laugh? I just finished my 158th book of the year, and I'm going to finish 159 today. It's My Friends by Frederick Bachman, and it is as good as everyone says it is. It's just a lovely, beautiful book of friendship and humanity. So that's something that I find really delightful. Hey, Margaret, welcome. We were just talking a little bit about the retreat and the fact that it's my 51st birthday today and the ways that we're nurturing ourselves and bringing ourselves joy and um, all of that good stuff. So thank you. I appreciate the birthday love. It's really just been a lovely, relaxing day. I had a client. I'm working on a presentation for a workshop that I'm teaching on Thursday, and I rearranged my afternoon schedule a little bit to take my 16-year-old out to lunch. She had kind of a tough start to her morning, and we had a lovely time together. So, and I've got it. My partner gave me this awesome big Sagittarius energy candle. You guys, I love this. It smells so good. And it actually says, attention, working with this candle will make you unstoppable. I love that. But you know what the thing is about being unstoppable is we have to pick it. We have to choose we're unstoppable. And unstoppable doesn't mean that you're always going. It doesn't mean that. Unstoppable means you are taking care of yourself. You're nurturing yourself. You're showing up for yourself. You're picking the things that are going to get you where you want to go in your life. And that, my invitation is to make sure that that's heart centered and aligned and not hustle. Because hustle mentality is worn out, y'all. Like, that's not it. That's bro mentality that was passed down in a patriarchal society, not built for us, for the way we want to experience the world. And it's also not built to be sustainable. We don't have to pick that. We don't have to play by the rules that everybody else told us we have to follow. Like, if you join me on Zoom sometime and you get there before me, you'll see a picture of me that says, I'll be here soon. I'm off breaking some rules. Like, I love breaking the fucking rules. I love finding a way to do it differently that honors me and my process and my system and my needs. And it isn't me telling other people how they should be or behave. It's me figuring out how I choose to, how I want to be, how I want to behave. That's what taking radical responsibility for yourself is all about. So, even as a coach, as a guide, as a human design guide, as an NLP practitioner, I never tell anybody what to think or what to do or how to be. I help you find those answers within yourself because you are the expert on you. You are the only one that can be an expert on you. So I help you discover yourself so that you can listen to yourself and honor yourself and work with that. And that is definitely something we're going to be doing in Costa Rica. And I just can't even believe it. Like, in the next 3 weeks, I will literally stop selling this retreat, which I have spent the last 2 years of my life obsessing over because it won't matter then, right? We'll be done. Registration will be closed and people have said yes or they haven't said yes or whatever. And that's wild because even as I'm doing my marketing planning coming up, I'm like, oh, well, we have to completely take this off the table. It'll be over, which is crazy. I'll do another retreat, but there'll never be another one just like this because experiences can't ever be replicated because people change, situations change, venues change, things change, right? So this is the only time we get to experience this thing because you're going to be a totally different person this time next year. So will I. I mean, that's the hope, isn't it? That we're constantly growing and advancing. I don't know. I love it. It's so exciting. I'm so excited about it. And yeah, so I don't know, there are some folks here that I'm not sure I know. Are you following me? I wanna say hi. I certainly know Margaret. We've got Danielle, Monica, Deborah. Hi, you guys. How are you? What's feeling good for you today? Um, yeah, all of that. Okay, so that's it. I just wanted to come say hi. I'm gonna do a little bit of work, and then I'm gonna go pick my kid up from school, and we're gonna hang out, and my family's gonna have a little birthday dinner for me, and yeah, so this is 51, y'all. Here we are. This is me. This is 51. I feel really good about who I am and where I am and how I am in the world, and it felt so good that it was clearly notable to me this morning. I'm like, I feel so settled, so much filled with ease, so much filled with joy. And this is what I want for all of you is we can have this even when all the chaos is around us. And we can still be part of the solution to the chaos, but it starts with us feeling centered and aligned and embodied. That's where it all has to start. So whatever you need to do today to connect yourself closer to yourself and your truth and to your alignment, I hope you'll take that first step. And if there's anything I can do to help you do that, let me know. It would be a joy. So thank you all for joining me and helping me celebrate my birthday. I appreciate it. And I will talk to everybody soon. Bye.